What was originally Geralt's relationship to elves, to the old people of the continent? The first story where it's told about Geralt and elves is the fifth story of first Witcher book, The Last Wish. This story is broad and focuses on proverbial creatures living in woods near Dol Platana. It is a typical story where he was traveling together with Dandelion and tried to survive through the commissions, but also through the bard's babbling. The story opens in an inn where Dandelion and Geralt are talking with common folk, which have a mouth full of proverbial creatures living in near lands and woods. Geralt is sure that they are lying and doesn't bother to go and find any. They leave the inn and travel by a nearby main road. Two men follow them, and when they catch up, they tell Geralt that they have a commission for Witcher in a nearby town. They host them in their house, and their companion tells Geralt that a terrible creature lives nearby and controls a certain part of the land. They call him a devil. Geralt promises he goes to see, but not kill him. Dandelion is baffled since he doesn't believe this creature is real. Geralt neither, but decides to check to see what certainly shouldn't be real. The next day, they both travel to the meadow where the creature stays. They stumble upon something which looks like a huge, fat creature with gold-like horns and head. At first, the creature is not aggressive, but after a few Dandelion jests, it goes loose and attacks both of them with iron balls and drives them away. After the incident, Geralt and Dandelion go back to the village and complain to the villagers that they lied to them. It is obvious that they were already in contact with the devil, and they gave him some offerings. They also recognize him as a Sylvan. After a short talk, Geralt promises to deal with the creature and tell it to leave the lands, but that it will cost the villagers some coins for his services. Bard and the Witcher go to the place again to negotiate with the creature. Geralt tells the devil to leave the lands, but the situation gets out of control and the fight between Geralt and the goat-like creature starts again. This time the fight is ended by sudden ambush of the different group of people and knocking down Dandelion as well as Geralt. They are knocked out and both lose consciousness. Geralt wakes up in a camp, tied, with people around him speaking a different language. Geralt swiftly recognizes the voices of the devil and one other, who is one of the old people, elves. It seems some of them want to execute him and Dandelion. After a few moments, another elf, Toruviel, comes to Geralt and he uses the situation. He knocks her down and starts to fight with her while tied. He injures her badly and they beat him for it in return. Geralt talks with the elves and understands that as all the other mountain elves, they are very poor and on the brink of annihilation. They struggle with money and with planting own crops. That's why they set up the devil, to scare the nearby villagers. In return, they give him offerings which he brings to the elves. Seeds, fabrics, and many different vegetables to survive. The leader of the group, named Filavandrel, tells Geralt and Dandelion that they will need to kill them. Not because of the revenge on people, which they so much desire though, but because it's practical, since they already knew Devil's true role, and it could be blown away if they set them free. The Sylvan doesn't agree though, since the deal between him and elves was that nobody gets any harm. Filavandrel, the leader of the elf group, set them to be executed by a bowshot anyway. Just a few moments before the execution, with strings already uptight, Lilei, the queen of the fields, enters the scene and they halt. She's a young witch from the village. While Filavandrel communicates with her, the Sylvan frees Geralt and Dandelion. Filavandrel releases them, declaring that he and Geralt will meet again, when the elves later descend back to the valleys to die honorably in a battle. Toruviel gives elf loot to Dandelion as compensation for his struggles and for breaking his own loot. The story ends with Geralt, Dandelion, and the devil sitting around a campfire, talking like friends and wondering where life will lead them next. Thanks for watching. That's all for this time. Feel free to subscribe since I'll see you again in a few days with another story about Geralt the Witcher.